like there was still time to choose. Your coat half on your shoulder, my heart halfway loose. You said this isn't what I wanted, but you didn't say goodbye. So I stayed inside the moment, let the silence try. We learned how to speak in circles, never landing on the truth. Every sentence left unfinished, every promise missing you. I kept waiting for a reason, you kept waiting for a sign. Love was almost a decision, but it ran out of time. Love didn't finish the thought, it started something real, but it stopped right in the middle of what we were supposed to feel. I don't know where it was going or why it had to fall apart. Love didn't finish the thought, but it finished my heart. Every almost, every maybe still echoes now and then. Love didn't finish the thought, but it said enough to stay. It left me holding the meaning you were afraid to say. If love is more than a feeling, then I played my part. Love didn't finish the thought, but it finished my heart. Love didn't finish the thought. We met somewhere between chance and doubt. Nothing promised, nothing said. You smiled like it didn't matter, but it stayed inside my head. We talked in half-finished sentences, like we were scared of the truth. Every step felt close to something, still too far to call it you. Almost us, almost real. I waited for a sign to follow, you waited for the perfect time. I kept reading into silence, you kept drawing careful lines. We held on without a future, just enough to feel the flame, calling distance temporary while it quietly became. Every night I felt it fading, but I loved you just the same. I was hoping time would choose us, you were hoping it would change. Almost us, never arrived. We were close but never there, standing right outside forever, like we didn't dare. touch came on cue. Maybe we would have crossed the line instead of almost me and you. I would have stayed through the ending if you'd met me halfway. But some loves live in the question and never learn how to stay. Almost us, never right. We were right there, so close to something forever, but it disappeared. I gave my heart to the maybe, and you let it wait. Almost us, never right, but I felt it every day. Almost us. Never ripe. We were quiet in the steady, hands almost touching the truth. Every word felt automatic, like we already knew. I felt you drifting when you held me, like your mind was somewhere else. I was falling slowly, softly, you were bracing for yourself. Every time you pulled away, I called it space, not fear. I kept leaning into shadows just to keep you near. We loved in soft collapse, didn't break, just bent, fell apart in slow motion. Every time you left, we loved in soft collapse. No sound when it ends, heartbeats fading into echoes, over and over again. We loved in soft collapse. Same night We met when your world was unfinished and mine was already on fire. You were still learning how to stay, I was ready to call it desire. Every moment felt borrowed, like we'd stolen time from fate. You said now, maybe later. I heard hope, you meant wait. I loved you without timing, without the right place or plan. I loved you in the middle, when nothing could understand. You said love needs a future, I only had right now. I loved you without timing, and I paid for it somehow. I see now how close we came to something we couldn't hold. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were protecting your soul. If love is more than feeling, then maybe I asked too soon. But the truth is I'd still choose you, even knowing how this ends. Every step toward you pulled me further from myself. I was breaking every rule, just to keep you close enough. Maybe love is impatient, maybe it's brave and it's wild. Maybe it shows up uninvited and ruins your perfect design. If the cost of loving you was losing who I used to be, and let the damage prove one thing, at least it was real to me. I loved you without timing, when the world said let it go. I loved you in the future was something we never know. Regret the loving, just the moment I chose. I loved you without timing, and that's the part I'll always know. Some loves don't wait. We met when your world was unfinished and mine was already on fire. You were still learning how to stay, I was ready to call it desire. Every moment felt borrowed, like we'd stolen time from fate. You said now, maybe later. I heard hope, you meant wait. I loved you without timing, without the right place or plan. I loved you in the middle, where nothing could understand. You said love needs a future, I only had right now. I loved you without timing, and I paid for it somehow. I see now how close we came to something we couldn't hold. I was asking for a heartbeat, you were protecting your soul. If love is more than feeling, then maybe I asked too soon. But the truth is I'd still choose you, even knowing how this ends. Every step toward you pulled me further from myself. I was breaking every rule, just to keep you close enough. Maybe love isn't patient, maybe it's brave and it's wild. Maybe it shows up uninvited and ruins your perfect design. If the cost of loving you is losing who I used to be, then let the damage prove one thing, at least it was real to me. I loved you without timing, when the world said let it go. I loved you in the future, was something we never know. You needed space to become you, I needed you to stay. don't regret the loving, just the moment I chose. I loved you without timing, and that's the part I'll always know. Some loves don't wait. I remember how you looked at me, like the world was standing still. Every word felt close and honest, every touch felt real. But lately when I say your name, it echoes more than it lands, like we're talking through a window with our backs against the glass. We stopped asking the hard questions, started letting things slide. Called the distance just a phase, said we'd be fine. You're right here but you're not with me. I'm holding space you don't see. We're smiling for the moment, but losing what we used to be. We drifted out of focus, somewhere between the lines, still close enough to touch it, too far to feel like mine. I don't know when it happened or who let go first. We drifted out of focus before we knew it hurt. Out of focus, still in frame. Out of focus, not the same. We drifted out of focus, but never said goodbye. We're standing in the ending, pretending we're still fine. I wish love came with warnings, or a moment we could choose. We drifted out of focus and slowly lost the view. Out of focus, still thinking of you. I thought love was supposed to be safe. We were quiet in the half-lit kitchen, midnight spilling through the blinds. Your shadow leaned against the doorway, like it wasn't really mine. The clock was louder than our breathing, every second felt too clear. I was holding on to nothing, still afraid to disappear. You said people don't mean the damage, they just follow what they feel. But your words kept cutting corners where my heart was never healed. I memorized your small reactions, every sigh, the way you turned. I kept thinking pain was temporary, if love was something earned. I kept telling myself this was normal, that love just feels this way. But the longer I stayed silent, the more of me slipped away. Love didn't mean to hurt me, but it knew just where to land. Every promise felt like safety, till it slipped right through my hands. I don't think you tried to break me, but you broke me all the same. was just a mirror showing cracks we try to hide. Maybe I was loving deeper while you were just passing time. If I could talk to who I was then, I'd tell her this one thing: if it costs you who you are, it's not love, it's bargaining. Love didn't mean to hurt me, but it stayed when it should have gone. I kept calling it forever while it proved me wrong. I don't hate you, I just see it clearer than I ever could. Love didn't mean to hurt me, but it never learned me good. But I had to leave to heal. I traced your name on a foggy window, watched it fade before the morning light. We were standing on the edge of something, too afraid to choose the fight. You said love should feel like breathing, but I was always holding mine. Every promise felt like falling, every truth a warning sign. I felt you slipping through my fingers like a moment I can't rewind. I knew the ending before the silence, but I stayed hoping I'd be wrong this time. You were almost enough to save me, almost real, almost true. We were so close to forever, but close still breaks in two. If loving you was the answer, why did it hurt so much to choose? You were almost enough to hold me, but almost wasn't you. Ghost is in the hallway, every song still says your name. I replay the nights we whispered like they might still sound the same. I don't blame you for the distance, I just wish I'd seen the cost. We were building dreams on questions and pretending nothing's lost. You were almost enough to save me, almost real, almost true. We were so close to forever, but close still breaks in two. If loving you was the answer, why did it hurt so much to choose? You were almost enough to hold me, but almost wasn't you. If I had known how love could fracture, I'd have held on differently. But hearts don't break in the future, they break right where you stand with me. I'd still choose you in the moment, even knowing how it ends. Some loves are meant to last forever, they just teach us how to bend. You were almost enough to save me, almost real, almost true. We were standing in forever with nothing left to prove. I don't regret the way I loved you, even when it cut me through. You were almost enough to hold me, and I almost held on to. Sometimes almost is the truth. Heartbeat in the dark, then the room turned quiet. We stood under the streetlight, like the world was on pause. You said my name like a question I didn't have the answer for. Every second kept on moving, even when we didn't. I tried to hold the air between us, but it slipped like a shadow. Love slipped past the moment, like water through your hands. We were close enough to touch it, but not to understand. And now I'm left with echoes of what I couldn't say. Love slipped past the moment, and I watched it walk away. You laughed like it was nothing, like it didn't leave a scar. But I felt the weight of every word, like a falling star. Love slipped past the moment, like water through your hands. We were close enough to touch it, but not to understand. And now I'm left with echoes of what I couldn't say. Love slipped past the moment, and I watched it walk away. If I could rewind the seconds, I'd stop the world in place. I'd say the words I swallowed before they left your face. But love doesn't wait for courage, it just keeps moving on. And I'm still here in the silence where we used to belong. Love slipped past the moment, like water through your hands. We were close enough to touch it, but not to understand. And now I'm left with echoes of what I couldn't say. Love slipped past the moment, and I watched it walk away. The night keeps moving forward, while I stay in yesterday. The night stayed open, like it was listening. We talked in half-finished sentences, let the meaning drift. I believed in where we were going more than what it was. You leaned into every maybe, I leaned into you. We let the moment feel complete without making it true. Almost us felt like all we're ever given. Don't look away. Almost us felt like truth, till truth began to move. I was ready for forever. You were passing through. Some love doesn't lie, it just never arrives. We were moving like a warning, too fast, too close, too bright. Every promise felt electric, but it never learned the timing. I was building something solid, you were chasing our feels. Every second pulling harder, till the moment broke the seal. Love didn't know how to stay. It burned and it ran away. I reached but it slipped through me, like light at the end of a way. Same room, different silence. Your voice still in the sound. I keep dancing with the echoes of what we never found. Love didn't know how to stay. It burned and it ran away. I reached but it slipped through me, like light at the end of a wave. Didn't know how to stay. Love didn't know how to stay. Hear it crash, feel it break. If it leaves me in pieces, I'd still feel it again. Still here.